Fisher. Sarah, good morning. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Good morning.
Excellent. You are a race car driver for the person that does not understand your business.
Yes, an IndyCar driver in the Indianapolis 500.
That is awesome. And there's obviously a lot of attention these days around women drivers because there haven't really been a lot of ladies in this sport in the past, and now there's a few of you now, and that's awesome. Why do you think that's all of a sudden changed? That all of a sudden women are doing well in these car sports?
Well, I think 10 years ago when I started in the IndyCar series and had a couple podiums and being the first woman to qualify on the pole position of a major open wheel sport, and some of the experiences I had there, I think it was only the start of bringing awareness to the sport from a female perspective. And I think as we grow forward and learn from that and add to that, I think it gets better and better.
Very cool. What do you have more female fans, do you think, or more male fans? Like when you're at a race, people are coming to get your autograph. Are there more guys thinking, man, there's a chick driver there, that's awesome? Or are there more ladies that think, oh, that's so cool, a lady's racing?
Well, for me, I'm more the girl next door brand. I'm that chick who's your neighbor that anyone can talk to. So my fans are mostly families and fathers that are bringing their daughters along, checking out the racing scene and seeing what it's all about. That maybe their son or daughter or wife would even aspire to do what I do, whether that be a race car driver or an entrepreneur, because I own my own IndyCar team.
That's very cool. What is the ultimate goal for you? Is it to stay in Indy cars, or do you want to go to a different? Do you want to do the NASCAR thing again, or what's the ultimate goal in your business?
Well, for me, it's to have Sarah Fisher Racing stand on its own two legs. I really want my racing team, 5 years from now, to be able to have its own ground and its own merit. And, right now I'm driving the car and owning the car. So, that adds a lot to my plate. And I think in the future, I'd really like my team, to be able to do it on its own. And that's what we're working hard to make happen.
Do you have one of those, we hear stories all the time about people in the car businesses with those sweet RVs that they travel around the country. And do you have a super sweet motor coach thing?
Well, I have a sort of super sweet motorhome. I try and spend all my money on my race car, so I have the baddest race car rolling out. But maybe my motorhome's not as badass.
It doesn't have like 90 TVs and a hot tub on the roof or anything like that?
No, only 2.
You add that to the list of goals. Sarah Fisher Racing standing on its own 2 feet and also a super badass motorhome.
There you go. One day, huh?
Yeah. How's it? Do you get any different treatment from the guys that you're racing with? Since it's a majority of guys, are most of them pretty accepting and cool, or are some of them kind of pissed that there's a woman racing with them, or how's that work?
Well, all of them are real accepting now. Being an owner sheds a different light on what I'm trying to achieve, and knowing that maybe I'll be stepping out of the car one day, a lot of them want to drive for us.
Oh, I see.
So it's a little bit different environment than it used to be just being a competitor.
When you were just a competitor, did you have any rough experiences with the guys there? Any guys treat you disrespectfully or anything, or was it always pretty nice?
Well, I think I'll probably never forget the time I passed, he was Chilean or something, I don't know. But he was driving for AJ Foyt, and AJ Foyt said over the radio, "You've just been passed by a girl." But ever since then, AJ has been just a great friend and a great supporter of what we're doing. So, it's come a long way.
Very cool. Wait, how'd you get into this? Have you been racing since you were a little girl, or was this something?
Since itty-bitty. 5 years old I started, and my mom and dad were into racing. My grandpa had a go-kart track. My uncle built sprint car, World Outlaw engines. It's really in my family.
Very cool. What do you think of, obviously a big name when it comes to women in racing, Danica Patrick comes up a lot. What do you think of Danica?
Well, I think she's bit off a lot this year, going back and forth between the IndyCar series and, the Nationwide series. I think that's going to be a huge challenge, but I think if she can pull it off, it would be huge for the sport of auto racing in general. Mm-hmm. And so we support her 100% and hope she does well.
So there's no animosity between the two of you at all?
Not really anymore. When she first came onto the scene, I'd already been there for 5 years, so there was a little at the beginning. But I think now we both see the big picture of where the sport is going, and can support each other in trying to achieve great things in motorsports.
I think if you guys threw like a little like kind of professional wrestling aspect into the auto racing, and like you and her got into a fight in the mud on the infield someday, like I think that would increase the numbers of people watching your sport.
It probably would, but it certainly wouldn't be the Dollar General brand.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Well, hey, Sarah Fisher, I think it's a very cool story, probably inspiring to a lot of young girls out there, and I'm sure a lot of IndyCar fans excited to hear from you. So thanks so much for calling in this morning, and we wish you the best in the rest of your races.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, Sarah.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.